Hello everybody, I'm back today with another Sketches by Sara scrapbook process for you. I am showing you the sketch, I am showing you the products, I'm showing you the background. So I'm gonna kind of go ahead and get started right into my layout. So a couple of things. First of all, the sketch I'm using today is actually part of a sketch challenge that I'm hosting over in the Rediscover Your Stash Facebook group. So you can head over there. We are giving away a $25 gift certificate to Inspiration in Bloom if you create a project with the sketch, and it's going to be super fun. So be sure to head over. I will link the group down below. There might not be a blog post. In fact, I can almost promise you there won't be a blog post before this video goes live. The blog post will actually, so this video is going to go live Wednesday night at 7. The blog post will be up Thursday morning, and the only reason for that is because we are having horrible thunderstorms, and I'm late getting this video up, so I know that the thunderstorms will be gone by the time the blog post should go up. So I am using papers from 49th and Market's Vintage Artistry collection. This is the Spring Vintage Artistry collection. It came in a whole big pack. It has all the papers, and then it has the gorgeous laser cut ephemera and some washi tape. So what I'm doing is I'm cutting off some of the branding strips off of the papers. The sketch calls for a really layered, interesting background to map the photos with, and so what I'm going to do is I'm going to pair those branding strips with some washi tape, and I'm going to use those two items to back my photos, as it were. If you want to play along with this sketch, you are 100% more than welcome to. It's a fabulous sketch, and if you want to grab it tonight before the blog goes live tomorrow, you can get it from the Facebook group. If you want to come and join us, that would be fabulous. I am going to go ahead now, and I'm going through the laser die cuts, and I'm just picking out the pieces that I think I can use with my photos and on my layout. I have a quick apology. The air conditioning is on in my craft room today, and I do not want to turn it off because it's 90 plus degrees outside, and I will get super hot super fast. So I'm sorry if you can hear that little background noise. So what I'm doing here is grabbing my two photos. I am using my T-square ruler to kind of get an idea of where I need to stop and start these strips. And then what I need to do is I need to get the first one to be straight. Once the first one is straight, everything else will be easy peasy. My plan is to alter branding strips and the washi tape strips. So there's two colorways that the washi tape comes in. One's purple and one's a neutral. And so I'm going to kind of alter them back and forth between the washi tapes and the branding strips. And then this one branding strip, I wanted to cut off some of the words and use them on my layout. So I just kind of trimmed those off, and now I'm trimming the branding strip down, and I am just going to take all these washi strips and all these branding strips and create a photo mat for my two pictures. The background is a background that I taught for a class over at Scrap Happy, where I teach a monthly design class or technique class, depending on the month. And I actually am going to kind of talk about and recreate some of this background, just a little bit different, for the members of my Facebook group more towards the end of this month, because we're doing a spending freeze, and I don't want to encourage anyone to spend money on stuff before the spending freeze is over. So right at the end of the month, I'm going to show them how to do this background, because a lot of people in my group really commented on it and want to know how to make it and how to create it. So since it might involve enabling some purchases, we're going to wait on that till the end of the month. The strips behind your photos can really be anything you want. Something textural, something torn, something paper, something not paper. It could be, some rub-on borders you have hanging around your scrap room. There's lots and lots of options. If you have some sticker borders, you know, sometimes they come on those 12 by 12 sheets of stickers. That would be perfect. There are lots of options when it comes to what you could back your photos with. There's also lots of options as to what that background with a little bit of mixed media across the top can look like. Your background could even just be another pattern paper that is torn and placed across the top of your white cardstock. So if you don't like mixed media, you can absolutely replace it with something else. So I am just layering stuff up until I get to my second pencil mark. Remember, I made a pencil mark at the top and a pencil mark at the bottom. And that way I don't have to measure anything. I know my photos are going to fit right there where they need to fit. And we are good to go and continue to create this layout. I do want to pop my photos up with some foam adhesive to give them a little lift off of that background. And I specifically chose 2 photos that had a lot of white space in them, again, to help contrast over that really busy and really pattern-filled photo mat. Sorry, you can see my little puppy nose there. He's sitting on my lap while I scrapbook. He actually is usually sitting on my lap when I scrapbook, but he's not always in the video shot. So, okay, let's work on our embellishment clusters. So the sketch calls for three embellishment clusters, which is what I generally do on my layouts, my sketches. What I decided to do was I'm going to take some of those butterflies and kind of put them up around the flowers. I have these scrap pieces from all those branding strips that I cut, so I'm going to use some of those and some of the scraps to create just a little cluster over here. This cluster is going to kind of balance out the photos and kind of mimic all of those strips behind the photos. And then on top of those strips, I'm going to layer some little word stickers or word strips. These are the word strips from the one branding strip that I cut all apart. They say things like love you more, happiness, good times, remember this. And I'm just going to stack them all up and then place one of the little laser cut flowers underneath the stack, all the strips that I have here. So I pre-chose most of the embellishments. I just have some of these laser cut flowers. I'm going to move them around and kind of cluster them up here on the right side of my photos. I have some tickets on the left, and then that purple strip, which is also from one of the branding strips. It says Tranquil Moments, and that one is actually going to be what I'm going to use as my title, and I'm going to place it across the top of the photo there where you can see it. So to get these flowers just exactly the way that I wanted them, I used my taper and kind of like glued them all together. And then I'm going to go ahead initially I thought about using that white circle, but I didn't like, it was a little too stark and it was a little too big. So I just added that little pink cluster into the rest of the flower cluster there. I'm going to kind of tuck those behind both of my photos and place them up beside. These are 2 photos that I took when Logan and I went plant shopping. I always take too many photos and I always scrapbook them all. That's okay. It is a family tradition that my youngest and I look forward to, going to buy flowers for our front porch and our flower beds. I'm just going to add some more tickets here. So I have those 2 are going to go on one side, then the purple and yellow one are going to go on the other side, and I went ahead and used my tiny attacher to kind of staple the tickets together. There were 2 ephemera pieces on the laser cut stickers on laser cut ephemera that kind of have like definitions, dictionary definitions. One is the definition of sunshine and one is the definition of blossom. And I was determined I was going to use them both because they worked so well with my photos and they worked so well with the feeling and what I wanted to say on this layout. So I definitely decided to go ahead and get those on there. And that's how we're going to call this one done. Thank you so much for joining me today. Be sure to leave a comment. Let me know what you thought of my video today, or hit that thumbs up button. And I will talk to you all again very soon. Bye.